In this video, we're finally going to be checking out the new MAFEX 2.0 Mandalorian and doing some comparisons to the SHFiguarts, the Black Series, and of course, some toy photography with it as well. Do we have the best Mandalorian figure on our hands? Maybe, but which one? So, since the amazing and epic debut of The Mandalorian in 2019, we've gotten a lot of Mandalorian figures, and I mean a lot of Mandalorian figures. But in the last couple of months, we've had a little bit of a Mandalorian renaissance with some of the 3 newest and best Mandalorian figures we've ever gotten. And this right here may be the one to rule them all. The MAFEX Mandalorian version 2. I'm really excited just by looking in the box. Like, this one really might be the best. It really might be. So in the last couple of months, we have gotten the most recent SHFiguarts Mandalorian, which I have right here, and the most recent Black Series Mandalorian. So these last 2 figures have been really good. I love the Figuarts one. I thought that was like the new best one, period. And I also really love the Black Series one. This one had even better proportions than the Figuarts, but the Figuarts was still overall, I thought, a better figure. And if you are interested in either of those review videos, I do have them on the channel right now. Here they are, and they'll be linked in the description as well. But yeah, this MAFEX might be the best accessories, the best proportions, and just the better figure in general. Plus, this has just got so much stuff in it. So this will be the final and ultimate video to decide which one of these is the best. And I can't wait to do it. And if you're interested in picking up any of these guys yourself, I'll have all the links in the description of the video as always, because you know, these guys are awesome. I mean, I'm assuming this one's awesome. So I've been collecting MAFEX for a while, and this is actually my first, like, newer, recent Star Wars MAFEX figure. So this is actually going to be really cool for me to see how this guy is, and, you know, if MAFEX is just as good at doing Star Wars as they are with everything else. The only one I do have is this really old R2 and 3PO, but yeah, nothing super new and like this one. So I'm pumped. Okay, well, here's my man Din right out of the box, and I'm instantly impressed. I'm not surprised, but I'm still impressed, if that makes any sense. This figure and the Figuarts are just about the same price. Man, this one comes with way more stuff. Man, this thing's incredible. Just at first glance, like, the proportions are definitely fantastic. They're perfect. They're really good. They didn't go with a real dark chrome, kind of like they did with the Figuarts. It's a classic Beskar chrome, and there's a little bit of speckled weathering here and there, like on the pads here. But the very first, like, huge plus I noticed is the huge amount of neck range. Like, look at that. Like, if you wanted to have him flying with the jetpack, you could do that. But yeah, I mean, just at first glance, look at how good everything looks. One thing about the neck articulation, though, that one might not like, doesn't bother me, I don't think it's inaccurate or bad or anything, is you've got a lot more neck. You can see neck, and you've got a lot of space between the shoulders and the helmet, and which I think looks fine. It honestly looks kind of more accurate, but a lot of the figures don't really have this type of space. But because of that, you get the amazing neck articulation. Whether or not you consider that a sacrifice or not, it's definitely, I think, like, a good sacrifice. I don't know. The cape is so good. Like, it's the perfect size. It's not too big. It's got a little bit of holes on the bottom here, and you've got wires on both sides, so you can just about pose it however you want, really. I'm so excited to own this figure. Let's take a look at all the awesome accessories you've got here. So we've got a couple of Grogs. We've got bagged Grog, and we've got unbagged Grog. I mean, I'll take 2 Grogus over one any day. I love the bagged Grogu so much. Oh my god, I love this so much. Look how cute his little face is in there. The paint and everything on his face is fantastic. Holy crap, so good. And it fits so incredibly nicely on Mando like this, and it doesn't really, like, hinder your poses or anything, which is so great. The strap is kind of like a leatherish material, and everything else is totally plastic all in one. And if we take it off, you should be able to swap the heads here with Grogu. So if I wanted to have a not so happy face like this one right here and put it on this one, I should be able to just do a switch. The sitting Grogu looks great too. He's like totally plastic. He does have a couple of legs and feet on the bottom there. You can move his arms, but they don't really provide a whole lot of, you can kind of get him in like a shruggy pose like this, but you can't really do a whole lot more than that. I mean, I'm not gonna expect crazy, highly articulated Grogu. The paint on the face is just mind-blowingly good, especially for how small it is. Like, that is incredible. So the jetpack looks great as expected, no complaints there. One thing that's really interesting is like got a whole back piece on it. It's not just like just the jetpack that you pop in. Like this is the SHFiguarts one, the newer one. It's just like a peg you stick in the back, you know? But this has got a whole nother back piece, which is probably pretty cool because it probably really helps it stay in and not really fall out. So here's Din and he's got his jetpack on like this. What I'm liking about it is you can have it with the cape on and it still looks kind of cool. You know, I like having both on. You can kind of stuff it over to the side like this and it looks good. The SHFiguarts, I actually wasn't really able to figure out a good way to have the cape and the jetpack on. I actually had to like scooch over the little strap here over to the side so I could put it in there, which was a little bit of a process, but wasn't hard. So I think I'm probably gonna just leave that in there like that. I like the way that looks. So the jetpack has a tiny little clip right there, and I think that's for the Beskar spear, which is right here, by the way. Here's the Beskar spear. Just kind of clip it in there, and there you go. His spear is on his back like that, but it looks cool, but it doesn't really work super well, because like if you like to try to pump his chest out like that, you know, like that kind of look, then the spear just kind of goes back into his like feet like that. See what I mean? If you look at that, it just looks a little weird. At first glance, like that looks fine when I have it like that, I guess. It's a little bit weird, so, and it can fall out kind of easy. It's a really cool feature. I think maybe that could have been done better somehow. I don't really know. I guess there's that. So we've also got two other heads here. One of them is the Pedro Pascal face, which looks great. Whatever technology they use to get that face on there, it looks really good. The paint is fantastic. Sculpt is great. Definitely looking forward to switching that out. And this is interesting to me. There's a whole another helmet just with the lights on here, which I think is cool. Like they did a whole nother helmet for that. And like they could have just been like a little detachable, pop that off and then pop it in. Like I feel like a lot of other helmets would do or have done, if I'm remembering correctly, but we get a whole nother helmet just for that. So that's pretty freaking awesome. We've got some special effects, including the flamethrower, which is pretty cool. We've got two jetpack boosters, the whistling birds, which that looks awesome. And we've got a little energy effect for using the tuning fork disintegrator gun thing, so that's pretty sweet. And of course it comes with his normal hand pistol blaster, whatever that's called. If anyone in the comments knows the name of this blaster, please correct me, let me know. And of course we've got the vibro knife as well, so cool. And the blaster fits nicely in the holster, just like that. Speaking of the tuning fork, we've got two of them. One of them is just a regular one where you can, you know, have him hold and using, so that's cool. And the other one is the one you can put on his back because it's got the strap right here permanently attached. So another instance where they could have just given us one. They gave us two, one with a strap, one without. And we get the dark saber, nice, which looks fantastic. Comes with one all together, and then one with just the hilt, which I do like a lot. I think that's a really good one. SHFiguarts did the same thing. And last but not least, we've got a grappling hook, which that's pretty sweet too. Just look at all these hands. There are so many hands. That is the most impressive amount of hands ever. You can do just about anything you want to do with him. And on top of all the actual good stuff it comes with, it also comes just with a stand, which is cool. Not a lot of figures I feel like do this as much anymore, so free stand, heck yeah, that is always welcome. And as far as articulation goes, you're getting your typical MAFEX quality. Everything looks good, you've got tons of posability, it feels good, it feels strong, you know, it doesn't feel like weak joints, not too loose, not too stiff. you've definitely got great articulation here. I will say, however, the Figuarts articulation is a little bit better. You get a little bit more movement on a couple things, like a little bit further with the elbows, a little bit further with like the hips and stuff like that. But the articulation is fantastic. You definitely got that quality that you'd expect from MAFEX. Also, a quick reminder to my fellow collectors, you don't have to keep your boxes. I know it may feel like you need to keep them, but you don't have to. I promise. All right, let's get into the juicy stuff and figure out which one of these is the best. Let's start comparing. And let's start with the little Grogus. Okay, well, here are our MAFEX and our SHFiguarts Grogus. These are the two Figuarts, and these are the two MAFEX. The fact that we get this amazing Grogu in a bag, I think is just incredible, and I absolutely love that. So that's a huge plus for the MAFEX. But just as far as the normal Grogus go, I think I'm gonna go with the Figuarts. I adore I think the MAFEX is fantastic, but I do just enjoy the texture on that much more, and I think the color of the paint I like a little more. There's a little bit more movement with the arms, so that's cool. You get the articulated ears with the Figuarts. Like, that is just so great. But either way, I think they're both wonderful and amazing, and I love them all. Jeez, how do you not love this bagged Grogu? I love it so much. Okay, well, here they are, our three champions. We've got the Figuarts, the Black Series, and then the new MAFEX right here. They all look great. They all look fantastic. I'm going to do this, and with the utmost respect, kindly remove this guy from the picture. And that's because it's kind of hard to compare. This is a $30 figure compared to $80 to $100. You know, it's just hard to compare. But this figure is awesome. It's probably the best Black Series figure ever. So I highly recommend it in every possible way. I'm going to kindly remove him because, you know, it's not his weight class. You know, it's not fair. It's not fair. So these are both wonderful, fantastic figures. And there are some huge pros and cons about each of them, but I think there are just more pros to the MAFEX. Just from at first glance, the proportions in general, they look better, they look a little bit more human. I think this house also has better accessories. There's the bagged Grogu is great. All of these special effects, you get the spear and you get the Darksaber. You get so many hands. The Figuarts does have the egg carrier, the MAFEX does not have. I also think the paint on the chrome on Mando's armor is better. The darker color on the Figuarts was a choice that I didn't really love so much. So that's why I ended up giving him that extra little custom paint that I did do in this video. And the neck articulation on the MAFEX is just like, come on. The wired cape on both of them is really good, and I do think the cape on the MAFEX is a little bit more realistic, and that's one of the things that makes it so your articulation ends up being better on the MAFEX or on the neck and stuff like that. The Figuarts is great, and actually, you know what? There's a lot of things about this I do like better. One thing I really like is my ability to put the armor over the cape like that. And I think that looks really cool, and it makes the shoulders look super broad, and I don't know, I just think that looks really good. That's a small thing, but I do really kind of like that. I do think the articulation is slightly better on the Figuarts. There's a few more joints in different places that give you a little bit more freedom, like right here alone with just the movement of the arm, getting that further. Like, that looks a little unnatural, but I can still get things in places I can't put the MAFEX into. But please let me know in the comments. I would really love to know what your opinion is on both of these. Have you gotten both of these, and which one do you think is better? Are you planning on getting one? Which one are you gonna buy based off of the, you know, the differences here? I would love to know. Please let me know in the comments which one you think is the best. Or hey, maybe you think the Black Series is better, you know? Please, I would love to know. It was a fair battle, and I think it came out close, so you guys are being real good sports about it. Anywho, it's a great day outside, and I need to take a toy photo with this guy, and I've got a really good idea. So let's head out and take a really cool action-packed shot. Let's go. Okay, so it actually ended up raining today, but that's all right. We're out here and we're gonna take an awesome shot. So let me show you what I got. So we've got Mando right here, and he is double penetrating these two troopers. He is skewering them both in an awesome, awesome fashion. And we've got some beautiful green moss. We've got some trooper helmets down there. And I'm gonna be able to do a little bit of photoshopping to fix that. But right now, I've got a great looking pose and I'm super excited about it. Here are my settings right now. I've got my shutter speed just fast enough to where I can use a little bit of fireworks. So hopefully that works out well. And then I've got my F at 1.8, so I have as much light as possible, really. My ISO is at 400. With that f1.8, I have a beautiful blurry background, and I'm very excited about that. So what my plan is to use a couple sparklers, put some sparks over where the penetration is happening. Sorry, I keep using that word. And then maybe I'll use a couple of normal explosive fireworks too over here to get some extra sparks. And then I'm going to take a bunch of pictures and layer them all in together. If you have any curiosity, if you're wondering how I do this whole firework process, the editing, all of that, I'll have some tutorials linked right over here and in the description of the video, so you can check them out and try it yourself. All right, let's go and take this shot. Hey everyone, so I'm back home, and I need to stress something very important with you that I don't stress enough, and clearly I don't think about and take seriously enough, because I almost had a really close call just now. Whenever you're dealing with fire or fireworks, whether it be for toy photography or not, you have to be incredibly careful, and you have to be thinking about it constantly, because you never know what's gonna happen. Just now, I finished using that sparkler, and when I was done with it, it was still going off, and I was gonna move on and do something else, so I put it down on the ground so it would burn out, and not looking, I dropped it into my bag, and I didn't notice it until my bag started smoking, and I was like, what the hell? So here it is, and as you can see, there's a little bit of a hole in the bottom of it, and it's pretty screwed up in there, because, yeah. And what's really bad is in this pocket, what I usually hold is more fireworks, and that could have been a huge, horrible thing. And the biggest casualty besides my bag is my Lume Cube tube light that is permanently melted. Oh god, it still works though. If I turn it on, it still functions just fine, but it's kind of really ugly now. So if you're using fireworks in your toy photos, be careful all the time. Do it with an adult. If you are an adult, like me, act like an adult. And be careful, because, can you imagine if my bag exploded like that? Anyway, let's get back to the video. So is the MAFEX Mando really the best out of these three really amazing figures? I kind of think it is, but I would love to hear what you think. Please let me know if you think the MAFEX is the best, or the SHFiguarts, the Black Series, whatever you think, I would love to know. Thank you so much for watching. If you did enjoy the video, please consider liking and subscribing to the channel, and I will see you in the next video, and make sure to be careful going forward with your fireworks.